What do we got going on here? Time to click buttons, guys. If you haven't yet so far.
We will be clicking the buttons, and we will be hoping that you are clicking the buttons.
Yep.
There we are. Whoops. Hello. Hello, audio.
You found us?
Mm-hmm. We
We're
exist. It turns out we do exist.
Okay.
Yep. There we are, existing.
So is this us?
Yeah, man. We're really real. Did you know that?
Are we really real, or what timeline are we in right now? Okay, guys, what is up? Welcome to Infinity Times Infinity Studios Live. Okay?
Yeah, we're so live that we're talking to you and looking at ourselves and all that at the same time.
Yeah, it's very weird because we're always looking at different dimensions, right?
Yeah, we can see ourselves in the future, so as we're here in your world in the present, we're also, keeping track. We're keeping tabs on ourselves.
It definitely gets confusing, guys.
We're like the modern day Bill and Ted.
We are exactly. I mean,
we're here.
He said it exactly right.
We're here for your excellent adventure to be portrayed here before your eyes.
All right. You guys, thanks for joining us. If you're on Twitch, give us a Twitch. Okay.
Give us a cracky twitched out Twitch.
You guys know in Fortnite they have these little crystals that make you twitch,
give us a twitch like that.
Yeah, just glitch
Fortnite
out.
crystal twitch.
The gamers know about glitching out. And all of our YouTubers, give us that thumbs up, subscribe,
Word to my tubers.
Do all of that stuff people do,
Yeah, they're like potatoes. They're tubers.
Yeah, they're tubers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are YouTube viewers like potatoes?
Right. Should we be calling our Twitch streamers Twitches?
I call them my Twitches.
I mean, what's the lingo here? I like Twitch a lot these days because of there's little or no compression once the video is uploaded.
Yeah, I mean, even right now while I'm watching the YouTube, it might be because these devices are so primitive, but it's giving me tons of graininess, whereas I know that the feed is actually super solid.
Yeah.
And if I was to go look on the computer, I think it's actually clean.
Yeah.
In fact, it's honestly later that it seems to add the worst kind of compression when we're in quad mode.
Huh. Yeah.
Isn't that strange? If you look at last week's stream right now, about 4 or 5 minutes in, our faces are kind of getting smeared in weird ways, and it's just really weird. I thought they had been so kind as to remove us from this torment, but then we were re-injected into the torment hole. Well,
it could be something with the algorithm.
Could be that. Could be also the way we're doing, like we said, if any of the 4 in the quadrant are fairly dark, like underexposed in terms of at 0, then exposure wise, then it probably is going to give us less favorable kind of look to the compression.
Right. It might be a thing that we want to look into. It's
trying to compensate for that darkness too much somehow.
One of the things that we're going to try that you guys will definitely notice a little bit of digital noise in this one, but we are going to look at a GoPro Hero 5 that we were talked about in an old stream, right?
Yeah. We actually connected the GoPro for use as an overhead cam and tested it, but now we have it installed up there above, so this is kind of like what our shot for our GoPro is going to look like.
Right. And right now I put in the quad view, and this is pretty exciting. We have a screen capture of the control room computer, right?
Yeah, this is going to enable us to describe to you what we're doing with certain specific programs or instances of audio online or some other kind of an online thing that we're talking about. Like whenever we did the Grimes competition, maybe we would have shown the Grimes page in that quadrant.
Right, we can show more like hands-on production.
Yeah, I mean, we really can kind of turn that into an art quadrant as well by just putting something across my whole screen. So, you know, there's some cool possibilities in store for that little option right there.
Exactly. This so that like is a whole other universe where we can do video and music production and everything like that. But what we're using this as well for is the overhead shot for the GoPro that we just set up, right?
Yeah, right now, basically we've got our shots out here in the Slingstudio going, and then we've got the ATEM Mini Pro ISO in the other room to go to with 2 live cameras, an overhead, and the screen capture. So all 4 of the channels in the ATEM are now on and popping.
Yeah, so we're using a full ATEM Mini Pro ISO linked and a camera link to the Slingstudio.
Yeah.
So now we're like popping full pop.
Double popping. We're multi-streaming, multi-level, multi-streaming, multi-cam, multi-platform, multiverse.
Right, coming to you live.
But other than that, I mean, we're pretty simple. I mean, I don't know. We don't do much.
Exactly. You know what I started out with? The camera phone. The camera phone and Facebook Live. That's what I started with.
This something that looks about like this.
It's grown a little bit to something crazy here.
Yeah. You know, this thing can be scaled. That's one of the cool things about it. We've scaled this now to kind of another level. So thus the excitement from the ATEM Mini Pro ISO.
Yeah. I mean, what's cool about this is that we can have bands play. That some of them could be in this room. Some of them can be in the control room, right?
Well, a likely scenario is that the singer is isolated from the rest of the band so that the vocal track can be as pristine as possible.
Right.
Because that's of paramount importance to being able to make the recording sound its best in the end.
Right.
So whenever you have as much isolation as possible, you're in a winning situation. But feasibly, even when you have as much isolation as we have here between the live room and the control room, you could even use a large diaphragm condenser. And basically, since you're in another room, you have enough isolation from the other sound that it could be doable.
Really?
Maybe we could use the CAD, the E100S, which is a supercardioid pattern.
Okay.
So that rejects even more. That's not right in front of it. It's kind of similar in concept to the SM57 58s. That are very directional, but they're cardioid pattern. They're probably more like a supercardioid or hyper. Well, I guess it would be called supercardioid.
Okay.
Yeah, the tighter it is, the more focused.
The tighter it is, the bigger the ding dong.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got off there on a tangent.
He always gets me with those folks.
Listen. There's just going to be tons of options that we're going to be doing here with some live stuff. Let's go ahead, without further ado, and show you our GoPro Hero 5 Black setup. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow.
So another cool thing about what we've got going on this week is that instead of our normal mics that are there at our desks, we're both on lavalier mics, like right from the start. So
that's right.
See, this is like Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, or more like maybe Mr. Robinson's neighborhood, because as we're walking in, I can turn to camera and talk and show you the things I'm doing. So now Phil has a tablet in his hands, switching what's on our program at the time. I have this monitoring that program output, and I have this, which is controlling the overhead GoPro shot that we're about to show you in quadrant 4 there. So come with me, come on children, and let me show you something. Right on in here.
Should I put it on the main or? Nah.
No, what we'll do is switch it while we're in quad mode here to begin with. So I'll put my monitoring up here.
Right.
Right.
And by the way, this is music that has been produced here. So take a listen.
Yeah, we're not worried this week about copyright infringement and those sorts of things because that's our music. How much of that do you have in the program? If it's all the way in, then it's as loud as we are, basically.
Is it? Oh, man.
Yeah, so it might even be difficult to hear us over it.
I might need to set up an audio for that, or I mean, set up some headphones to hear it.
Yeah, so now we're on the face cam in quadrant 4. Just put it about 2/3 of what we're at.
2/3? Okay.
Yeah.
Bringing it down.
There's our down the pipe shot of the A7 S3. And the big reveal finally is shot number 1.
Look at that.
Which is the lovely overhead shot, as you can see.
Beautiful. Yeah.
You have lights going on in every direction. And here's our ATEM Mini Pro ISO. Fits beautifully on a Native Instruments Complete Control S61 keyboard here. In addition to, of course, the machine and a Kai APC 40. And over here in the far part of the shot here, you actually have the SSL6, a mixer that is of gargantuan capability despite its diminutive size. So
we'll talk about that one later.
All that in your shot here makes for quite a dynamic shot indeed for our overhead.
Doing the flyover.
That's cool. We got the flyover in quadrant 3, the overhead in quadrant 4.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a little variety and go back to the down the pipe shot while he's overhead flying. Looking at all those pretty colors. Now it's us hanging out, throwing the peace sign, the thumbs up.
Okay, let's switch it back to the GoPro real quick. I want to throw that into the program real quick.
Yeah, we can kind of take a look at what it looked like.
Yeah, what it looked like. Yeah.
What it looked like.
There.
So, my cock and balls in this area.
Yeah.
Followed by,
it's attached to the keyboard, and that's what's playing right now.
Right. Yeah, that's how I play the normally play the tunes for all of you.
Right.
You got your lovely color switching capabilities here with the machine. So these are each of 8 scenes in the machine that are being portrayed within the complete control keyboard.
Show do.
So, yeah, if you like an orange motif, then there you go.
That Akai keyboard is like Centipede over there.
Isn't it? That's cool. That's actually the APC 40. It's an Ableton Live controller. So that thing is cool because it has all the buttons and knobs matched to the channels in an Ableton session. And the Ableton clip view, I think it's called. There's like 2 views, like an arrangement view and a clip view or something like that. So you can launch clips with each of those buttons up there that the Centipede is going down.
Sweet.
And then, you know, you can control their levels with faders here, and you have a knob section that controls each of the parameters within each of those if they're Ableton Live devices. And if they're other devices, then they generally have maps that also are controlling these knobs and patterns that are pretty much as you would logically expect them to be. So what it works out for is that you have basically a lot of hands-on control that you don't have to rely on a mouse for, instead of, you know, these devices here that feel like the real deal hardware. So another thing that we've got going on is that we're controlling this GoPro with this phone here. So if we wanted to, for example, allow it to have a brighter image, we could allow it to go to 6400 ISO, and then boom, your image is actually brighter there. And it showed in real time, I think, it changed. It didn't really get much brighter though, honestly. It just got more noise in it.
Right.
So, oh, you've taken it out of the program on its own. But even in the quadrant view, I think that it's visible that there's some noise on the floor here, where the most novel change in light and color exists on the frame,
Right.
basically, probably.
I'll go full here. There's the
it'll
full
be
shot.
it'll be a little bit of a shock to pixel peepers to see it in full view because of this graininess that we have there down in the bottom right of that view. But interestingly, again, we changed the ISO and that grain goes away pretty considerably, and without a huge loss in our brightness level.
Right.
So we're thinking maybe this is the preferable shot. Let us know in the comments or in chat here if you feel like it, which one you prefer.
Right. The lights tend to be a little bit brighter, and the
lights pop more whenever the shot's not as bright, so it's kind of a cool thing and a way to minimize the noise at the same time.
right. And we know all of our Twitch people love just like lit areas.
Word up, Twitches is lit.
Yeah. Yo, IXI is lit.
It's lit. So, yeah, I mean, you know, there's all kinds of other stuff that we can do while we're controlling that camera up there. There's EV compensation and sharpness and Pro Tune, auto rotation. There's something called a quick capture. You can turn GPS on and off, all from this phone here. You even have control of the auto off timer and the screensaver amount of time that elapses. Video control, voice control enable. So you can enable this to be controlled by your voice. You probably can say GoPro record and it records or something to that.
Or you could say
extent.
donkey punch.
GoPro, go fuck yourself. And then it will proceed to have sex with itself as instructed.
By the way, connecting this thing to the camera for the first time was a little bit of a pain in the butt.
Yeah, if you noticed this week that we're here a little late for you, we have good old GoPro Corp to thank for that.
For sure.
This was something that took a little longer than expected to set up for your viewing pleasure up there.
Of course, this is the 5. I mean, they're out. They have the 9 out right now.
Yeah, but I'm sure it would have taken the same amount of time because, you know, the thing wanted to update the camera's firmware. So
it did all this stuff.
As soon as the app connected through the phone, it updated wanted to update the camera's firmware immediately. So we did that, presuming that if you didn't, then perhaps there would be some functionality issues, as are normally the case whenever you have outdated firmware on a updated software.
Right.
So, yeah, we have a lot of stuff here, honestly, though. I mean, it's pretty cool, you know. We have a white balance thing, so, like, it's on auto, but if we were to change the white balance to, let's say, native, let's see how that affects things. Well, now you took it off the program. We wanted to see what the change would be live.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to just get a shot of the screen. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's advisable. I think let's go with the quad so we can see what native does
Okay.
to color.
I'm back.
It looks a little more yellow maybe, huh? Let's go to auto. Okay, I don't know if it changed much there. White balance 3000. Okay. White balance 6500.
Yeah. So it turned orange.
Boom, look how orange that is.
Yeah, because that would be more like daylight.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd want to...
in auto mode, it's much more like 3000.
Yep.
And in native mode, let's see what we have in native. It's pretty nice, I guess. It's a little bit more yellowy. It's kind of got some yellow to it. It's a little too yellow, probably. Let's go back to auto and see what we got again. Oh yeah. Auto's the way to go. Auto for white balance, it appears.
Right.
So, you know, these are cool things. These are the kinds of things that we can find out while we're connected to our camera here.
Yeah, there are definitely a lot of settings that are way easier to access with a camera phone rather than going through the menu on the GoPro.
Wouldn't EV comp make the shot brighter? EV compensation.
Right. It might. So you do it again.
And up. Didn't see much happening.
I'm not seeing much of a change.
Now we'll go way down. -2. Oh yeah, it went way darker.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back up to the top. 2.0. Boom. Okay. And now back to 0. Yeah, so from 0 to 2, not much seemed to happen there. So it must really be about taking away if you're in too bright of an environment. EV compensation, it's about cutting out when it's too bright out in the bright sunlight. It's a GoPro, makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
Usually you wouldn't even think about having that type of setting on the GoPro, but with the phone you can scroll through all the settings and actually tweak them all.
Yeah, these are the things that, you know, you would just leave to the camera, but since there's an app like this, you have such ultimate control. It's actually really cool.
Yeah. Really, they set this up so that you could like set the camera up at the bottom of a, you know, ski hill run or something, and then turn it on. That would be crazy, right? Like turn it on with your phone. I guess you could just leave it on and then go down the run.
It has color settings of GoPro color and flat. Let's see what flat does. Whoa.
It looked like it brightened it up.
Everything brightened way up, but it looks really weird.
It's way digital distortion. Like it's like a...
Now we should turn ISO down maybe and see if that's...
It definitely introduced a lot of grain, so let's see what happens if the ISO goes down.
Maybe we'll go to 1600. That's kind of similar to what we were just at, I think.
Yeah, still quite a bit of grain there. Let's see.
There
Can you go down again?
It's still maybe as bright of an image as it was before. Let's see, 1200. That's probably a non-native step. And that still helped a good bit. It's pretty ungrainy. Now at 800 it'll probably be too dark of a shot. Yep, now it's dark. Dark as fuck. I mean, it's not crazy dark though, honestly. Like,
yeah, you can see your fingers.
It kind of looks like reality. Still, right here. But that color changed so much that we'll probably put GoPro color back on instead of flat color, going with GoPro color and a higher ISO.
Yeah, I think
might work. How about a 1600 ISO with GoPro color? Wow, that's still pretty dark by comparison to the flat.
I feel like that looks better though.
Does it? Let's see.
Less noise.
Yeah. Is there less noise?
If you wear a dark sleeved shirt, it looks like just hands.
Yeah, I'm just floating there.
Your hand is just floating there like Thing or something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty dark though. I think I still like a little more ISO than that. I think 3200 is the way to go. It's never going to be in full program, really. You know, so I think a little bit of grain probably wouldn't be too crazy.
Right, and it's not bad for the shot just because it's our overhead shot. It's not.
Yeah, if they're looking at this, they're going to be looking at like what keys we're hitting, not like over here at whether there's grain on this wood.
Right. We have other cameras that are for clear shots for sure.
Yeah.
So what do you think, guys?
I don't know. Yeah, what do you think? I haven't seen anything in the YouTube chat, so I guess they either aren't there or they don't give a shit about us.
I think that this is just going to lead to like bigger and better things, though. I mean, like the ability to come in here, produce something at any time, live stream it is a huge deal for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I wonder if, since that's playing through, that there's going to be a delay because we're also playing it in the room. Now we'll turn it off in the room and see if that fixes it, if there was a delay up to that point. Because it'll be still playing through the line.
Aha.
So,
but because it was playing through the speakers, you think that maybe we have a delay?
I don't know.
Maybe in our lavalier or something like that.
I don't know. My thought was that there could be, because of it being instant through the sound card, but yet traveling through a camera link, that might be at a different rate than these labs straight to the mixer. Because we always get a delay when there's something in a camera link that's going in separately that's got
and usually
the same feed in it as another. See, the only time we're ever having any issues is whenever two things have the same feed in them. Because if the WMX1 didn't have the WMX20 both capturing the same audio, there wouldn't be any issues.
Right.
The echo came from both having the same audio on them and coming in at different times. And I think that probably what we're going to see in this stream is that until I just turn that off right there, we will have had a quiet echo of the music that we're feeding into our shit.
Yeah.
In addition to the music and our voices.
It'll actually be interesting to watch the playback and see what happens with our audio.
It will. Yeah. So we may call that a good reason to cut her a little short this week. Go check that out.
Go look at that.
Right. But there's our overhead shot. We're thinking we might want to move it a little bit, but our cords are pinching us off a slight bit. So
let me actually show it to you. We've got a few shots in another stream of it, but this is it fully.
Yeah, that's it connected to the sound absorption panel that's hanging from the ceiling here in the control room of Infinity Times Infinity Studios. Yeah,
we actually have it connected to a HDMI cable and USB power.
Micro HDMI and USB Type-C, both connected to it.
Right.
Which makes it an autonomous unit for the purposes of our filming and streaming. So we're hoping that this is a configuration that we can run with here.
Yeah.
And, you know, then we'll have everything we ever dreamed.
Yeah. Of course.
And we'll never be wanting again.
Well, yeah, that's what we're going after, right? I mean,
yeah, that's what we're after, is to just
chasing the dream, right?
we're looking to be living the dream. So as of right now, we're chasing the dream so that one day we can be living the dream.
Yeah, I just want to be dripping wet, you know, like.
I just want to rolly, rolly, rolly. It's a diamond ring. I just want to.
Anyway, I just want gold teeth and to be dripping wet with diamonds. So
yeah, man. All I want is to look better when I dance.
Yeah. So
I just need some water on my wrists.
Right.
Wrist water socket fall.
Okay. So I guess is there anything else we need to talk about? Let's go.
Yeah. Let's see. What do we need to talk about? There's some things that are going to happen with regard to more audio coming into your speakers than ever before here at Infinity Times Infinity Studios live stream. Mm-hmm. Specifically, we're going to be feeding your audio from this room into the mix of what we're getting from the other room and playing it out into monitor speakers out there live.
Yeah.
And yet also not causing echo, maybe.
Right.
In an ideal world, we'll figure out some way to make that happen.
Right. We're expanding out into new territory here, which is playing music from the control room out to the monitors out there so that we can all play as a band together.
Yeah, because these keys, they plays music.
Yeah.
So, you know, no reason not to have them join in the party that's going on in the live room.
And apparently they can use many plugins and effects and...
Yeah, what we'll be talking about on this channel for the coming probably majority of episodes will have more to do with what this monstrosity you see before you is powered by, which is a plethora of hardware and software marvels and wonders of the world, the likes of which you may never have imagined possible. I certainly didn't, but then as I began to learn about this stuff, I realized that in fact it was possible.
Right.
And you will too, as you take a journey with us, Infinity Times Infinity Studios.
Right. It goes
into
on
the future.
Into infinity. I mean, we
to
keep
infinity and beyond.
We keep.
No one said that, right? I think we'll be cool to use that. We'll use that as our catchphrase from here on out.
Yeah. Copyright Pixar.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Rip Woody.
Anyway.
Rip. What's the space
Buzz
guy's
Lightyear.
name? Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
Rip Buzz Lightyear.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so Buzz Lightyear ain't never had none of this shit right there, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Buzz Lightyear don't know what no overhead cam is.
Yes. So, you know, imagine us recording, you know, multiple camera, multiple platform streams.
In the multiverse.
In the multiverse,
We're
exactly.
multi-streaming, multi-platform,
different timelines and everything. I mean,
yeah,
this is going to be...
all of that. We're all of that.
Yeah, plus we're going to find more stuff that is problematic and broken for you guys so you can learn. It'll be great.
Yeah, you'll love this stream for that.
Yeah.
If I'm as much of a prognosticator as I think I am, this will be one of your favorite streams.
Right.
For that sort of thing. So you're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, YouTube. Once again, thank you. And you're welcome, Internet, for being who you are. You're lovely. And I love to be with you, and you love to be with me. So it's just a situation. It's a love situation.
Well, I like to embrace, you know, just running into problems and figuring out how to get around them before getting in front of, like, live talent, right?
Like Led Zeppelin said, good times, bad times, right? I mean, you got to go through them all. You got to get there, and there's a journey. There's a journey to the destination, and we're on that journey.
That's right. And we're so close, guys. We are getting super close. Like, the vision that I have for Infinity Times Infinity Studios is huge, okay, guys? We're going to bring you the music. We're actually figuring out a way to save music from dying.
We're saving it from itself because it's begun to eat itself.
Well, it's not eating itself. It's just that during Corona times, you can't exactly play a big
Yeah.
venue right now.
Yeah, the Rona has eaten music's liveliness, and we're going to restore the heart of the music.
Right. The heart of the music.
We're here to be the purveyors of the hope for music kind.
Right.
For all of music kind.
Yeah. Starting right here. Infinity
Right
times
here.
Infinity Studios.com.
Right here at RXA.
Go to the website.
Infinity
Sign up for
times
our
Infinity
emails.
Studios.
We're going to start looking for the next big artist out there. Big ups to yourselves.
Look. Big up yourself.
Exactly. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.